pastor, a campus coordinator, is an overseer in a local assembly here in Power City. So therefore, a campus coordinator or a pastor overseeing a work should see himself as a spiritual father of a sort, but as the same time, he is like an instructor who takes people through a curriculum, all right? And that's what Mattitheo is. Mattitheo is not a spiritual word. It's basically a word that implies to learn and to follow by precept and by example. Mattitheo, to learn, to follow by precept and example. That's why the core word is the word montano. Montano in the Greek. Montano. Montano deals with a learning or a process of learning. Montano deals with a learning or a process of learning. Look at the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse number 28. Matthew, the 11th chapter, the 28th verse.
Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest.
Now, if you look at the context of that scripture, which has been abused, a lot of pastors have bastardized that scripture. They have used it for what they call the deliverance thing. Come, I will give you rest. And they said you need to be delivered from demons, from witches and wizards and all that. But the context of that statement, Jesus was talking about learning of the Father. Learning of the Father. Look at the context of it. Matthew 11, 25, 26, 27, and 28. Let's go, PJ. 25.
At that time, Jesus answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes.
Next verse.
Even so, Father, for so it seemed good in thy sight.
You've revealed them unto babes. Even so, Father, for so it seemed good in thy sight. 27 and 28.
All things are delivered unto me of my Father, and no man knoweth the Son but the Father, neither knoweth any man the Father save the Son, and he to whomsoever the Son will reveal him.
Next verse.
Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest.
Come unto me, all ye that labor, after he has said, no one knows the Father but the Son, no one knows the Son but the Father, and he to whom the Son will reveal him. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, I will give you rest. Now, what are you coming to him for? You're coming to him for the revelation of the Father. You're coming to him for the revelation of the Father, which means the rest is referring to here is learning or the revelation of the Father. That is the rest. All right. So verse 29 now. Give me verse 29 of Matthew 11.
Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls.
Take my yoke upon you and learn of me. Now, yokes are used for students and teachers. Students and teachers. The word zugos in the Greek. Zugos. Z-U-G-O-S. It's also used for animals. Animals. When you read the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 14, it says, do not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with darkness? Do not be unequally yoked together. The word heterozygos, unequal yoke. That is to be unequal blend. You have the master and the slave. You also have the law. You can be yoked with the law of Moses. That's why Galatians chapter 5 verse 1 says, stand fast in the liberty wherewith Christ has set you free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. Entangled. That is, you are learning bondage. Entangled with the yoke of bondage means you are learning bondage. Then in Acts chapter 15 verse 10, Peter spoke about the yoke also. Acts chapter 15 verse number 10.
Now therefore, why tempt ye God to put a yoke upon the neck of the disciples, which neither our fathers nor we were able to bear?
To put a yoke on the neck of the disciples. Now nothing is wrong with the yoke, but which our fathers, neither we nor our fathers were able to bear. Because disciples will bear a yoke. So it must be a yoke they can bear. Disciples will bear a yoke. Now, a yoke simply means responsibility that comes by association. A yoke simply means responsibility that comes by association. Responsibility that comes by commitment, loyalty, and following. Responsibility that comes by commitment, loyalty, and following. So a yoke simply means a responsibility that comes by association, commitment, loyalty, and following.